This video teaches you to knit avocado. First, magic ring. And after that, knit 5 SC in the first loop single crochet. Tighten the coil after the 5 SC are knitted. We find the first straight S of the loop. Knit a ship stitch in the first straight S. This completes the first and last stitches. At the end of each subsequent lap, we'll have to connect through a ship stitch. The second loop is knitted as weave 2 SC in each SC of the first loop. That's a total of 5 increase knits. Weaving a SC within the first straight S, then weave another SC inside the first straight S, and that's it. Following the method of knitting 2 SC stitches in each straight S. Finish the second loop. After the second loop, 10 SC were knitted in this round. Again, a ship stitch is used for the beginning and the end. The third loop is knit in intervals of 1 stitch plus 1 stitch. See my demonstration. We weave an SC inside the first straight S. We weave an ink inside the second straight S. This is called adding a stitch every other stitch. This round is knitted in this pattern. 1 SC, 1 ink. Let's show you again. 1 SC, 1 ink. Let's finish the third loop in this way. The fourth loop is knitted as knit 45 SC without addition or subtraction. The short stitch is the one we have in each straight S. Or knit a SC, and so on without adding or subtracting. At the end of this loop, change the threads. Towards the end, I'll show you how to do a seamless wire change. Now it's down to the last straight S. Here's what you need to pay attention to. We insert the crochet hook into straight S, bringing the thread out. Let's take out this green wire that we're going to replace. Put this green wire on your hand. Crochet around the thread to bring it out. In this way, a seamless thread change takes place, and finally a ship stitch in the first straight S. Tensioning the coil. After the wire change is complete, leave a few centimeters of the brown wire to break. Now for the fifth loop. 5 chains on the fifth loop. After the end, we are picking half a braid on the peanut match. Braid a SC. Continue knitting a SC in this way. Now we need 2 SC, and then a third SC, with a fourth SC. After the 4 SC have been knitted, on the first straight S of the fourth loop, that's the straight S where the green line ship stitch is. Weave a SC in the first straight S. Weave an ink in the next straight S. Then weave an SC in the next straight S. This completes the pattern. Let's continue with the 1 SC, 1 ink, 1 SC. This way, finish the rest of the fifth loop. Let's show you again. 1 SC, 1 ink, 1 SC. You can knit the back side yourself. 5 patterns in the round. After weaving, let's knit the other side of the edge. Here's how it works. Weave a SC on the first half CH. Pick a half CH. Keep picking the next edge. Pick half a CH and weave SC. Then weave a third SC. And finally, half a CH and we are knitting 2 SC. This new green thread is added after the weaving. The new part is counted. We are done with this loop. At this point, we find the first straight S of the circle. Do the ship stitch. Next, we start the sixth loop. The method for the sixth loop is knit an ink in the first straight S. That is, weave 2 SC. Next, weave 3 consecutive SC. And into our part of the circle again. The knitting method for this part of the circle is add 1 stitch every 3 stitches. Let's see my demonstration. After the 3 SCs, we weave an ink. We'll just follow the 3 SCs and 1 ink's approach. Finish the rest of the circle. Add 1 stitch every 3 stitches. After knitting this pattern on the circle, we are back to the green part of the pattern. Here's how to weave. Start by knitting 4 SC without adding or subtracting. After weaving, weave an ink on the last straight S. After weaving, we find the first straight S of the loop. Do the ship stitch. Now we start the 7th loop. The 7th loop is a SC first, and then an ink. Next we'll knit 5 loops. These 5 loops are knitted as follows. Weave 4 SC without adding or subtracting first. After the 4 SCs are done, weaving an ink. There are 5 groups in this pattern. We've got 1 set. Now we are going to finish the remaining 4 groups. After weaving, We weave 3 more consecutive SC. Next, we'll weave 3 sets. Watch my demo. 1 ink, 1 SC. This is a set of patterns. Then we knit another ink SC. And finally a set of 1 ink, 1 SC. Note that after the last SC, we are switching lines. Here's the SC after weaving it like this. Take out the dark green line. Finish this SC. This completes the seamless thread change. We can cut this green line. Shape stitch on the first straight S. Tighten the coils. Now we'll start the 8th loop. The 8th loop is relatively simple. That's 45 SC without adding or subtracting. That's it without adding or subtracting. Weave a SC inside each straight S. Finish the loop. No more demonstrations here. Now I've finished hooking the 45 SCs of the 8th loop. Find the first straight S for the shape stitch. Tensioning the coil. At this point we are going to disconnect the wire. Leave a long thread. There's room for about 3 loops of pulp. The threads you've set aside will be used for sewing. Pulling out the coil. Let's put the pulp section to the side and set it aside. Next, the shell of the avocado. Continue with this dark green thread. Still with the magic ring. On the first loop we weave 5 SC. This is done in the same way as the pulp section. As shown before, 5 SC are knitted in the round. After the 5 SC, pull the loop tight. Find the first straight S. Weave a shape stitch. Tensioning the coil. This completes the first loop. The second loop is 5 ink. That is weaving 2 SC in each straight S. I told you about this method earlier. No more demonstrations here. The third loop is every other stitch plus 1. 1 SC and 1 ink. Let's finish the round like this. 1 SC, 1 ink. After weaving, this loop becomes shoe SC. Let's do it ourselves. For the fourth loop, we start with 5 cheese. Then we find the penultimate CH. Pick half a straight S and weave a SC. Knit a SC by picking half of the straight S down again. Now we have 2 SCs. Continue down to the third SC. After the 4 SCs have been woven, let's go back to the previous round. That's the first straight S on the third circle. That's on the straight S of the shape stitch. Knitting a SC. Then weave an ink down. with another SC. 1 SC, 1 ink, 1 SC. This is a set of patterns. We have this circle. We need to knit 5 sets of these patterns in total. Next, we'll complete 4 groups on our own. 1 SC, 1 ink, 1 SC. Here's what it looks like when the 5 patterns are finished. Then we begin to weave the CH extension. The knitting method is weave a SC in this remaining half straight S. Find the first straight S hook SC. Half a straight S weave upwards again SC. Half a straight S hook SC further upwards. The last half of straight S left. Let's pick up and hook an ink. After adding the SC and ink pins, this is the end of the round. Finally, ship stitch on first straight S. Tensioning the coil. The 4th lap is now complete. Let's start the 5th loop. The 5th loop is knitted as weave an ink in the first straight S. Then in the next straight S, start weaving 3 SC without addition or subtraction. After the completion of the 3 SCs, to knit 5 sets of the same pattern. Now for the first set, the first group is 3 consecutive SC. After 3 consecutive SCs, weaving an ink. There are 5 groups of this pattern. After the 5 patterns, around this position, let's knit it ourselves. No more demonstrations here. Here's what it looks like when it's done. Then weave 3 more consecutive SC upwards. Then weave 4 more SC upwards. Last straight S left, weaving an ink. Crochet into the first straight S, knit a ship stitch. End of lap 5. Let's start the 6th loop. For the 6th loop, we will knit a SC. Next, weave an ink. Next, 5 more patterns to knit. Let's start by showing you a set of. First, weave 4 SC without addition or subtraction. Weave another ink. Let's finish the remaining 4 loops. No more demonstrations here. After weaving, weave 3 more consecutive SC upwards. Then we weave 3 more sets of. Let's start with an ink. Weave another SC. This is a set of patterns. Next is still 1 ink and 1 SC. The last group has 1 ink and 1 SC. Knit a ship stitch on the first straight S, tensioning the loops. 6th lap complete. Laps 7 and 8 are easier. Each lap is 45 SC. Finish the 7th and 8th loops on your own. I won't show you again. This is what it looks like after the 8th loop. After the 8th loop, you need to break the yarn. The shell part of this avocado is done. Now we'll sew the shell to the pulp. We've reserved threads for the last loop of the pulp weave. Take out the hand stitches. Threading the reserved thread into the hand sewing needle. Now to teach you the exact suture. Let's put the backs of the two fabrics together. Stitching from the first straight S. Threading into fabric connected half CH. Let's see my demonstration. Adjacent half CH. Because it's all 45 SC. The number of straight S is the same for the last lap. We'll just stitch a loop like this. Notice how at the end, when there's only one opening left, we are going to need to stuff the padding. Now that I've stitched it up too, there's only one more opening to go. We stuff the fabric with padding. After the fabric is stuffed, we continue to sew by hand. Finish stitching the rest of this straight S. After the stitching is complete, back and forth through the fabric a few times, hiding the excess threads. After hiding the threads, cutting off the threads by fitting the fabric. This completes the body of the avocado. And now for the avocado's little lifting arm. Let's reserve about 10 centimeters of thread for sewing. Take out the crochet hook. Watch how I do it. Winding and knitting 7 ch. That's 1 ch. After the 7 ch's have been knitted, we'll find the penultimate ch and pick a half. We'll pick the halfway point and we'll weave a SC. Then weave a HDC down. Still picking up half the side. Weave another HDC down. In this way, weave 3 more DCs down. And that's the end of the little arm. And we're at the end of, still leaving about 10 centimeters of thread to break. Pull this coil out. This arm needs to be knitted again. One more in the same way as before. Now the two arms are done, everyone in their own way. Sew the arms to the size of the avocado. This is what it looks like when it's all sewn up. And finally, we'll attach the eyes, sewing on the mouth. This completes the avocado that lifts the cart.